Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Hospitality Today Live. I'm Deborah Gardner, your host. And I tell you what, this again has been such an incredible year of so many fantastic topics and subjects that we've been covering. But I'm really excited about today's show because I have who I want you to meet is Tonya Edinger. She is a 23-year wedding and event luxury event concierge. She's the CEO of her own business, which is Wedding and Events of Pittsburgh. And again, it's better known as the Pittsburgh Wedding Planner and Luxury Event Concierge. Now, what is Tonya going to talk to us about today? Well, you know, it is wedding season. So she's going to talk about her experience as one of the top planners in the wedding and event space, and how you can also set yourself apart, whether you're getting married or whether you want to get into the business. She's also going to share with us some terminology that we need to really understand and know more about going into 2022. For example, how do you define luxury? And also the trends for the new year, and knowing about the budget pricings, the challenges, and so much more. I cannot wait until you meet her. So stick around. We'll be right back. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here again on Tuesday, December 21st, sponsored by Visibly Media, helping businesses communicate strategically, visiblymedia.com. Well, again, I promised a very special guest today, and we have Tonya Edinger with us. So thank you, Tonya, for joining us.
Thank you, Deborah, so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it is during the holidays. Weddings and events are huge this time of year, going into especially a new year. And so this is perfect timing to have you as our guest. And I tell you what, looking into this, it looks like there's going to be what is called wedding revenge. Going out of this pandemic, because I understand there's an estimated there's going to be about 2.4 million weddings that are going to be happening in 2022, which is the most in like the last 40 years. And I know the pandemic had something to do with that because there was a lot of, catching up to do. You are going to be extremely busy.
Yep. We call this in the industry the big wedding boom. So you want to book early and make sure you have the choice of vendors, because if you're holding out for a deal or waiting for people, you're going to be sadly disappointed.
Wow, that is incredible. That's incredible. Well, I know our viewers would love to know more about you. Can you share about your 23 years in this space? Because I tell you, I know a lot of, meeting planners, event planners that cannot hang on long enough in this industry. It's a tough one, but what made you so successful? Share with us your experience.
Well, I like to contribute some of it to the fact that I'm an Aries. So I'm strong-willed, I'm passion-driven. I absolutely love what I do. And the best form of currency for me, I'm getting choked up a little bit, is at the end of the night when I see my couples just come running up to me and be like, this never could have happened without you. So that to me is amazing, but it doesn't stop there for me. Throughout the process, I'm becoming their friend, their confidant, anything that they need, so that I can be their future planner. I say that I'm their planner for life. And a lot of my clients from day one, we're doing their sweet 16 of their kids right now, and things like that. So we don't just plan weddings, we also do bar mitzvahs, sweet 16s, quinceaneras, like any life event that you have. And I'm married to DJ Sean. So we are huge on experiences and dating each other. And we share that with our couples and try to do everything we can to encourage them to stay together, date nights, experiences. And we've almost have all of our couples are still married and we keep in touch with them.
Oh, wow. You got a good luck charm working with you then.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Well, you're actually called the wedding event of Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Wedding Planner and Luxury Event Concierge. So you're located in Pittsburgh, but you can plan weddings all over the world if you wanted to, right?
Absolutely. I have a team of 12 and we've
Oh,
traveled to Aruba. We've done weddings in Mexico, Sandals, Vermont, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, you name it, where we'll travel anywhere you want some magic.
well, that's a pretty big team. And yeah, it takes money for this because, and hours. A lot of people don't realize, and again, I really meant it when I said, how do you handle this for 23 years? It's really it's probably one of the toughest jobs in the event space, I would imagine. The challenges, the hours, the negotiating involved. Talk about some of these challenges that you have to deal with
They,
with
they
Bridezilla.
they equate a wedding planner with a first responder. That's how stressful this job can be. So definitely one of the very first things, if you're considering becoming a planner, one of the very first things that I recommend to you is self-care. Every single Sunday night, unless I'm working on a Sunday night, then I switch it to Monday. I take 1 day a week off. It says two on my website, but I take 1 day a week off. And every Sunday my husband and I get couples massages here at our house. Um,
Nice.
we treat ourselves often. If anything, over the past few years, we've learned that experiences are make your world, and you can be a better person when your cup is full. So that's one thing that I highly recommend is better self-care. Um, America is consistently known for like working. Oh, look at me. I got up at 6 a.m. I didn't go to bed till midnight. I slept for a minute. I woke up in the middle of the night and got so much done. Like in the end, who cares? Like
Right.
you have to take care of yourself. And that is not taking care of yourself. And over the past couple of years, I've really learned that. And from cutting back, it's helped me to become more productive in my business as well as taking care of myself. So number one, self-care. Um, this is our booking season, like you mentioned, Deborah. So we go from usually around Thanksgiving, people start getting engaged, and that continues throughout Valentine's Day. So that is what we call in the industry the booking season. Now, yes, people get engaged at all year long, but this is the heaviest portion of it right now. So that's the season time. Some of the other, things that are challenges right now are vendors not responding. So as a
Mhm.
bride or someone getting married, how many hours do you want to spend calling vendors, emailing, Instagramming them? You saw them on Instagram, you loved them so much, and you're calling, trying to connect with them, and it's not happening. This is unfortunately a pandemic. I mean,
Right.
it's something that's happening with vendors a lot. You
Mhm.
need to get back to people quick. But that being said, that's just another reason you need a wedding planner, and
Mhm.
specifically a wedding planner, because I can text my vendors. I have over 1,700 vendors at my fingertips because I network and because I create strategic partnerships, relationships with my vendors. So when you've been like, oh, I looked on Insta, found this videographer that I love so much. Oh, he's amazing. I want him. And you've been calling him for days. I text him and you're set up. So
Mhm.
I have that power in the pool to be able to connect with him immediately and save you stress, headache, time, hours, and whatnot. It takes over 300 hours to plan a wedding. And that's
Wow.
equivalent of a part-time job with 15 hours a week for about 6 months. Like, is that something you want to add on? That doesn't sound like self-care to me.
Wow. Wow. Well, so what you're telling me is this time and age, there's people that are not responding. Do you think it has to do with the labor shortage that we're going through in the industry right now?
Yes, I think it's that people are not working as much. They don't want to work, like I talked about. They don't want to work from 9 a.m. to midnight. Like they just don't want to work like that anymore. So that comes down to the way you treat people too. Because, like I said, I've been in business for 23 years. Everyone on my team has been with me for 3 years plus. Um, we do a lot of extra things that other planners don't do. Like, for instance, we're CPR certified. We had a guy have a heart attack at one of our events, and I was the only one that knew what to do with him. And he did end up living, praise God, because of our quick response time. I mean, I looked over at the DJ. I was like, shut the music down. Everybody get back. I told my team, like, create a wall around these people, push them back. I performed CPR, and like I'm one of the few people that don't think like, oh my goodness, I want to save this guy's life. I put my mouth right on him. But like now that's not enough people were doing it, and they weren't even attempting to be a good Samaritan. So now they've done away with that, and you just do the compression.
Well, and that's important, Tonya, because today it's all, what's in the DNA of our industry is safety. It used to be technology, but
Right.
now it's all about safety. So I think that is a brilliant idea to make sure that they're CPR certified, because I mean, with that many people at an event, you just never know. You never know. And as a matter of fact, we have Lisa Raymond, who actually is asking a question right now. And we hope a lot of people out there are going to be asking questions or have some comments for Tonya. But Lisa says, what type of response time should we expect from vendors, as your comment earlier?
I personally hold myself high to a standard of 24 hours or less. Everything comes into my phone. I also have an assistant that helps me with everything that I do, and a social media manager. So everyone is working together to connect, so that we're getting to these people immediately and answering their questions, even if it's not necessarily like we're going to hire you, but hey, we have a question about something, do you know the answer to it? I
Right.
still feel like 24 hours when I see these people responding in their email and it says, please allow me 48 to 72 hours. I'm like, seriously, what are you
Yeah.
doing? Like, I understand over the weekend because we're out in the field. Like, if you're emailing me Friday, I'm probably going to take the whole 24 hours to get back to you, or I'll send a message to one of my people to get a hold of you. But if it's like on Monday or Tuesday, or Wednesday, like you should be responding super quick. Weeks going by, no, not good.
Right, right. So, okay, so boy, that there are some ups and downs. There's some pros and cons. And let's talk about terminology, because a lot of people look at the wedding sector of the hospitality industry like any other event, when it is clearly not. It's completely different. And I want to start out with knowing some new terminology that the wedding industry would like brides and grooms to know, or venues to know about, or people that are interested in the wedding sector. But in particular, how do you define luxury? Because you are considered a luxury concierge. So what is the difference? Because and it's interesting because a lot of wedding people have a budget with a champagne taste on a beer budget type of effect. So luxury is a different level.
Yes. So luxury used to be explained by wealth. How much wealth can I spend and show you a great time? But time is the new wealth right now. Time. If we've learned anything over the past 2 years, spending time and creating experiences, that's kind of what's setting us apart. We're really drilling down on that. So, like, planning is a gift. Wedding planning is a gift that you give to yourself, because then you can create many experiences throughout your wedding that is leaving your guests wow on wow on wow. Like it just keeps coming, because it's not just about like, oh, I don't have money for an ice sculpture. Okay, great. Then let's do something else, like food stations. Now we have people up and moving around, and the food is wowing them, and the action is wowing them. They're meeting different people. They've left their table and they're connecting with others, and that is creating an experience. So the time that you're putting into it and really working with a planner, like I can't say enough about working with a planner. This is something that you have never done before. I mean, would you cut your own hair? I know I wouldn't. I tried
No,
it when I was little. It didn't look
no,
great. I wouldn't fix my own car either. I need
no.
that to be working in tip-top shape. So, hiring a planner is just like hiring a mechanic or a hairdresser.
Well, and we have a question pertaining to that from Lisa, that actually has a friend. Her friend has a wedding planner, and or maybe her friend should have a venue coordinator. And is there a difference? Is that enough? Does the coordinator work in my friend's best interest? Yeah, go a little bit deeper into what you were just talking about, because this is exactly what Lisa's asking about.
Yes, Lisa, great question. It's definitely a huge difference, and it's also a huge misconception. People will say, "Oh, I don't need a wedding planner. I have one at my venue." Okay, that in itself, just think about that. You have one at your venue. The venue coordinator, which is their true term, but sometimes they call themselves wedding planners, is an advocate for the venue. They come and turn the lights on, maybe assist you setting a few things up and things like that. But they are not going to your house and picking up your decor for the wedding. They are not worried about your mementos, they don't care if someone signs your guest book or not. They are there to book an event and make the venue successful. Whereas a wedding planner is an advocate specifically for you, the client. So,
Wow.
and they want to make sure, like you said, Deborah, a wedding planner drills down and makes sure that this is all about the client and making sure that the client is getting what they want.
Well,
So,
that is a big, huge difference. And we've got a couple photos here that you were so graciously willing to share with us that you have actually done, that I would like to share with you, because I think the trends in the industry are really changing to where wedding planners know about, whereas the venue planner, like you were mentioning, might know about it, but not into it as much as an actual wedding planner. As a matter of fact, I was reading Insider, and they said the trends that we're going to start seeing, and those that are going to be disappearing in 2022. Here's some examples, and I thought I would share some of these, even though you might know them, but our viewers would probably get a kick out of this. The things that are going to be disappearing in 2022 is the garter toss,
definitely.
the rice toss, during the exit. Wedding favors are seeming to go away, and balloon decors. You know how the big balloons were always a big deal. What's going to start appearing, which is going to be interesting, is that a lot more weddings are going to be during the weekday, probably because the weekends are going to be so booked. Electronic invites instead of the paper invites. And there's going to be more sprinkles, and when you exit, instead of the rice throwing, they're going to throw some sprinkles of some sort. Charity support. They're going to have more of their gifts going toward charity than, having some, getting that same flower vase over and over and over. Handmade rings are going to be pretty popular, and just overall sustainable weddings, and even switching up wedding day timelines, like putting the cocktail hour first, which I am so for. I think that's a great idea. Why that hasn't happened before, I don't know. But why don't you tell us a little bit about the trends? And I'm going to show some of these pictures that you have done. And I'm sure people would love to know and get some ideas from you.
So some of your trends I agree with, some I don't know about.
We'll see, right?
Yes, I guess we'll see. I will say this is a hexagonal backdrop or arch. and it's decorated with flowers and a oh wow, just totally lost my train of thought there.
It
Like
looks like
a
it's
trade.
overlooking a garden of some
Yeah.
sort, or the
This is
city.
Pittsburgh, the city of Pittsburgh. This is one of her
Okay,
bridges.
okay.
And so this is the backdrop for a wedding that we did at Hotel Indigo in Pittsburgh. And some of the really hottest trends are this arch, flower walls, greenery backdrops, monograms, like things of that. Here you go again with the draping in the archway.
That's
Um,
pretty.
and the reason a lot of this is trending is because, again, over the past few years, a lot of us are now working from home. And as an influencer myself, we want these experiences and backdrops to take for social media. So even our wedding is now becoming a social media um, frenzy, like where we're going to post this. This is really popular. The flower backdrops, custom flower backdrops with your colors. This girl had rose gold
Hmm.
and navy. So we did a little bit of navy with some white and rose gold in there. Her
Mm,
flowers were actually rose gold, which really
very pretty.
popped it. Those are thrones. Any accent pieces that you can add, that's also trending with the couch and the settees and things of that nature.
Oh yeah, you could probably grab one of these chairs from your grandmother's house too, you know?
I don't know about these ones. They were custom made in New York, but definitely the wingback chairs of yesteryear are super popular right now.
Okay,
And
okay,
that's
okay.
because like every experience is getting posted. Like my husband and I have been together for 30 years. And pretty much everything we do, we just had a date night at PPG Ice Arena, went ice skating. I videotaped the whole thing. We use that for clips so people get to know us as people.
Sure.
And they want this at their weddings too. Like, yes, during the ceremony, they mostly want unplugged so that the videographer and photographer can capture the moment for you, but the reception is fair game, and people want to post like, hey, here's what's going on, check out this new trend that you're seeing.
Sure.
Like this right here is a sand ceremony.
Okay.
And so like the husband's sand goes first, then the wife, then their children's sand, and creates a sand centerpiece for you to keep
Oh,
later. They've People have also done it with water. The couple that was on the
huh.
riverbank there that you saw a few minutes ago with the greenery, they did a water ceremony. And while we were practicing for that, rehearsing the day before, the groom said, "Wouldn't it be nice if an eagle swooped in because his alma mater had an eagle?" And so I looked at that eagle and I was like, "You can swoop in tomorrow during the ceremony. It's cool with me." Sure enough, that eagle swooped in and it squawked. I mean, everyone went nuts. Like, what an experience. I mean,
Wow.
it was just so amazing. And tons of
Wow.
pictures were taken for that. But yeah,
And that's
definitely.
what it's all about. That's totally what it's all about. And that's a great, great picture and a great idea, something new and different that people haven't seen in a while. Gosh, we've got a couple comments here for you, Randall. I'm glad my only wedding was 50 plus years ago. So
Yay. Good job, Randall. You're doing it.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Maybe you put on that ceremony since you've been bringing people good luck of not being divorced yet. And then Lisa has another question. Why are traditions such as throwing rice or the garter going away? Oh, well, maybe that's one of the ones you didn't agree with on the trend.
No, I agree with them.
Oh, okay.
So throwing rice used to mean throw rice at the couple and they will have food for the new year. Say, like a honeymoon and mead, you were given a bottle of mead to supply you for a month. You would go off for your honeymoon and have a baby. I mean,
Oh,
that was the practicing thing of it. So like, the garter, the rice, all these traditions that really younger people today are like, what does this even mean? It makes no sense. We don't want to do it. A lot of people nowadays have fur babies and they want their fur children to be a part of the ceremony. So this is the new trends that I want my dog to walk me down the aisle, or I want my dog or my cat. I've had a rabbit. I want my rabbit holding my rings.
My
So
parakeet,
yes, so we get
Joanne.
pet handlers in there. And these are like some of the questions that you might want to be asking your wedding planner, like, how much experience do you have? How large is your list of vendors? How many years have you done this? Why do you do this? I have a fur child and it's a rabbit. Can you get someone to handle my rabbits? Because rabbits are like children, dogs, cats, all
Sure.
pets, your fur babies are like children. They can only stand so much and then they need to go take a nap, drink, go to the bathroom. You have to be taking care of them. But
Right.
these are things, again, that are more important to us because time is the new wealth. Time
Right.
is the new experience. And they want
Okay.
to include these things like, this is my beloved rabbit, and I want you to see my rabbit and meet my rabbit and, have, you know, an experience with that. We have fire breathers. Cigar bars are super popular right now. Even women are smoking cigars and enjoying and partaking. Guest interactions are huge. So like that is some of the things that is luxury and like
That's good to hear.
also trendy.
Well, I still like the cocktail hour at the beginning.
I
So
love that too. I love that.
that's my favorite. Get everybody happy before the ceremony instead of being stiff waiting for a cocktail. So I love that idea. So let's take a few moments before we close today. What if somebody is interested in becoming a wedding planner, and racking up the experience that you've had the last 23 years? How do they go about that? What should they be expecting? Any advice there?
There's some great books out there that say it takes 10,000 hours to master your craft. So I would definitely start out. Actually, when I started 23 years ago, I was only a reception planner. And I literally called myself that, Tonya Edinger Reception Planning Services. Very to the point, you knew exactly what I was, but I would turn on the lights, light the candles, set out the cheese tray, like whatever you needed done prior to
So it's grunt work,
yes, kind of. But you got to build
but
your
you'll learn.
portfolio, yes, and practice things at home. Like I'm still practicing today. Right now, I had a couple centerpieces take off, and a couple people called and said, "Hey, I loved your Christmas centerpieces you posted on Instagram. Would you be able to make those for my holiday? My mother wants one, I want one, my daughter wants one." And I'm like, "Oh, absolutely." And we'll deliver it right to your house. So we deliver a table linen, set it up, do the centerpieces. So I'm always making centerpieces here at the house and creating them. Then I list them on my Etsy or whatever. But I mean, you've got to be involved in this. You've got to do the work and practice. Even if it's like at the end of the night, sometimes people are like, "Oh, I'm going to throw that away. I'm going to throw that away, throw my flowers away." Take their flowers home and practice with them. Practice setting things up,
Sure.
practice setting up chairs at your own home, like a ceremony. It's just the practice makes better. Practice does not make perfect. Practice prepares you for the future.
Well,
Even
I
more.
never would have thought that as a wedding planner that it takes practice. So I just thought you just kind of follow the clients what they want, but that you got to have a lot of creativity and, like you said, time is wealth, and you got to put the time in to be very good at what your craft is. And if anybody is interested in becoming a wedding planner or knowing more about how to work with Tonya, as a matter of fact, I think they should contact you. And I've got your email and your website listed here for anybody that would like to look you up. But is there any other way that they can get in touch with you? Obviously, they need to get on your Instagram and look at all the rest of the pictures that you take.
Yes, absolutely. It's at Pittsburgh Wedding Planner.
Ah, okay. There you go. Any other social media areas that you'd like to play it?
I'm on Pinterest at Tonya Edinger. Definitely, I am all about Pinterest. I love Pinterest. I know other planners are like, "Ew, I
I
hate
do
Pinterest."
too. I
But
like Pinterest.
yeah, we're not, like we're not trying to copy Pinterest. We're getting ideas from there and creating your spin on that for the experience.
Right.
So
Right. Right. That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Well, this has been a delight. This has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed it because, I mean, who doesn't like a wedding? Especially after you're married. I love going to weddings because I'm not the bride and I'm not the single person walking around. I just get to have a lot of fun, but it is a lot of work. What meeting planners, wedding planners do, and boy, it's just a lot of work. It looks like they're having a lot of fun, but you're constantly having to be on the ball for whatever might happen, and that timeline is tight and to the T, and that's what your clients expect. So congratulations on making this happen for yourself and for your husband. Nothing wrong with having part of the staff under your household. I do the same thing. So take advantage of that for sure. So, but thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. And especially during this busy time. And it's going to be Wedding Revenge in 2022. And people need to contact you or contact their wedding planner that is going to get on the ball for them immediately. Because like you said, don't wait.
Absolutely. Time is of the essence. Thank you so much for having me, Deborah.
You're welcome.
I love making magic today. This is my little make magic.
I saw that. That's awesome. That's great. Well, thank you again for being with us, and Happy New Year, and have a great holiday too.
Happy New Year to you as well.
You're going to have a busy one. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, there you go. There's Tonya for you. I tell you what, she is a remarkable and brilliant and very experienced and talented woman that knows how weddings work. If you're a wedding planner, by all means, there's a lot of other events that you can do as well. So what a great career she's had. And I'm so glad you were with us to have her and listen to what she had to say, because I'm excited to get the opportunity to meet her in person and possibly work with her in the near future. So thank you all for being with us. Now you're probably wondering, gosh, what's going to be next? Because, as Tonya shared with you in her episode, as you know, can be on a replay. So make sure you watch that conversation again or share it with others. But what is going to be next? Well, we've got the closing show for the year next week. And I cannot wait until I share with you a lot that we're going to be planning on doing in 2022 as well. But first, I want to let you know that I'm going to actually have the president of the Kleiman Group, David Kleiman, CMM, with me on the show. And this is going to be pretty much a year in review type of show where we're going to just take a look back at this year of all the fabulous topics that we've been able to cover, from technology to the vaccine to industry funds to training, the CVBs, game shows, speakers, marijuana, emergency management, ethics, and so much more. And I'm going to ask David, what was his favorite show? What was the most surprising? And what did he learn throughout the entire year? Because he has been with us and watching many of these shows as well. And he's also going to share what the future of work looks like in the meetings and events industry. So there's a lot that we're gonna cover, and we're gonna help to wrap up the show for the year. And we hope that you'll be able to join us next Tuesday. And if you want to stay in touch with us and have a conversation, by all means, please contact us at hello@hospitalitytodaylive.com and share with us what topics you want to hear in 2022, or maybe you would like to be on the show as well. Either way, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So in order to wrap up today, I'm Deborah Gardner here with you on behalf of our entire HTL staff. I want to make sure that you have a terrific week going into the holiday. Merry Christmas to many of you as well. And we'll see you next week. Have a great day, everyone.